Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican bad man, the injured bad man. He pulled out of our fight. We were supposed to have a scheduled bout next month, and he came up with some bullshit that he hurt his pinky finger. Oh, show the boys your cast, bro.
I'm
Show the boys
dead,
your cast.
bro. I'm dead.
Yeah, check it out. We're Combat Sport,
What
guys,
you
coming
do
back
with
to
my
you
life,
with
bro?
another full card breakdown, this time in the form of UFC Fight Night Kape versus Horiguchi. This is the second time they meet, this time in the UFC for a 5 round bout. We'll get into this card. But before we do, let's talk about last week where your boys were eating. We're talking about live plays. We're talking about predicted plays, predicted picks, predicted parlays.
Yeah.
507 on the card. Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira did not, did not get the W, man. I think the issue for Alex Pereira was maybe he put on too much weight, bro. Maybe he put it too much weight. The speed of Gone was a bit too much for my guy. He didn't incorporate the leg kicks as we anticipated, right? And yeah, sure enough, man, he got hurt with a jab and followed a couple of illegal strikes. We do see him championing on Instagram, talking about how he's no longer going to have Herb Dean referee his fights. He's talking about how he's going to come after Herb Dean, get some lawyers involved. What do you think about all that, man?
How do I feel, champ? I mean, the reality was he was getting beat. He was getting punched. He was getting tagged. You're dealing with bigger fighters now. I mean, we picked wrong. That's what it is. Like speed kills, and he really wants a rematch. He told the UFC that. I just don't see how it's going to happen because what they should do is give Pereira Hockett, right? Make it the number one contender, and have Gone fight for the belt now to unify it.
Exactly. Have him fight in France. And then with Ilia Topuria, I think a lot of it comes down to one, decision making, and two, cardio, right? Obviously, Justin Gaethje, not to take anything away from Justin Gaethje, he established that jab really quick. He fought at his range, and he did a really good job of faking the single leg and then throwing that uppercut, right? And I think that was the shot that cracked Ilia's orbital, made him bleed, broke his nose. I think after the fact, we found out that he broke his nose and broke both his orbital bones. So shout out to Justin Gaethje, and I think poor decision making from Ilia Topuria. He did have him hurt in that second round with that liver shot. Justin Gaethje even admitted to it, and for some reason he went for the submission attempt instead of the ground and pound, right? Which it costed him later on in the fight. His brother did stop the fight. He did retire on the stool. We'll see how he bounces back. This is why we this. What's up?
Why did they say that he retired on the stool?
I don't know why that's the term. They say they retired, but this is why we love the sport, right? Because we had a fighter who was undefeated, who should have won, 6-1 favorite against Justin Gaethje, lost. He suffered his first L. I can't wait to see how he bounces back from this, right? We're going to see what he's really made of. Go ahead, take it from there, bro.
No, I was gonna say, going into the fight, I had to put money on Gaethje, like because there's always a probability, and then like you add the fact that Ilya, is fighting an American in the White House, right? And like y'all faded Patty, you guys faded, you faded Gaethje with Patty plus 200. Then this comes in, and I'm seeing that there's a significant reach, and then the thing is like, well, Holloway beat him. So the triangle MMA doesn't always make sense. But the problem is, bro, he just came ready. He wasn't gonna lose. It was well, he almost lost in the second round, right? The thing, Ilya, is he just absorbed too many punches in the first round. That was the biggest problem. And then the
Yeah.
stool quit stuff, like you know what's cool? Apparently, they asked Ilya like after the fight, like, oh, how do you feel about losing your winning streak, bro? You know what he said? Did you guys like the fight? Okay,
Hmm.
that's all I care about. You see, I
Yeah.
respect that because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like I understand he manifested, but damn, bro, plus 360 weight classes are there for a reason. Um, it's there, and he looked thicker, but he's a little bit more of a smaller fighter. Yeah,
Yeah.
we picked money line plus 360, $29 to make, dude, to make a little cheddar, which is funny. And then in the second round for minus 298, when I saw Ilya was a mess, I was like, that's it. Because the problem, they stopped the fight because he didn't have his vision, two orbital bones. So no, it was a good fight. After the fourth round, I was like, nah, bro, like they can't throw that man in the gutter there. And it was crazy amount of fighting. I think I also lost some money on Hockett because I went profitable that night, but I bet the 1.5 under.
Is Cyril Gane a dirty fighter?
Yes, he is. He's a little
Okay.
bit dirty.
Because when the Tom Aspinall stuff happened, you were saying, nah, bro, nah, bro. What about now with the Alex Pereira? What are we thinking?
Well, it just
You
continues to do
changing
it.
your tune, Canary? You changing your tune, Canary?
Fuck Tom, bro. Fuck Tom. Tom is like, well, we're gonna have to fight him, okay, in French, and I'm like,
Listen, bro. I say Pereira gets with Tom Aspinall. Um, class action lawsuit, bro. Get together, bro. Do a joint lawsuit, bro. Get after him.
apparently there was only two illegal strikes behind the back, but it's still like, bro, they're still significant, right? And
Yeah, it's a couple
it
of them.
it wasn't
Was it
that
only
like,
two? I thought it was like at least 5 or 6. Because
no,
some of them
so
were after it was broken down to what's classified as illegal or illegal. I counted them. It sounded like it was more than two.
somebody did the video and they established that it's only two. There was two back of the head, but there was like 8 weird different angles. So there was like two definitely that connected. And then Pereira goes on Nero Hawani, basically saying, he was gonna gas after that, and I was gonna beat him up. And I'm like, bro, you know what? That's fine. You just got to try to find a way to rebuild. Or
Yeah,
you know what, bro? Take another fight at heavyweight. Show people why you're next. That's all he needs to do. Or fight Volkov. Hockett or Volkov if he stays at heavyweight. I
right on.
I say
I
I
agree.
really hope he fights Volkov, because Volkov is slow, so he could have a good outing against Volkov.
Right on. There we have
So
it, man. A couple of the bets hit, a couple of the dog money line bets hit as well. Prop bets. We'll get into this card, man. We have Shane Collins taking on Otari Tanzalovi. Now, these are two individuals who are debuting in the UFC. Collins is coming off that KO win with Talon Hammonds, whereas Tanzalovi is coming off that unanimous decision win versus Guillermo Torres. This fight was added late. Tanzalovi, we have seen him before. He was on the Dana White Contender Series. He lost via split decision to Josias Musasa. You look at Collins, you look at both these guys, right? Collins is young. He's a good grappler. He does have solid ground and pound, solid takedown game. However, he doesn't necessarily set up his takedowns really well. He does have good power, not the best technique, and good pressure. The thing we saw with Tanzalovi in his Contender Series fight is that he doesn't engage in a fist fight, and he doesn't like the pressure or apply the pressure, right? He does a really good job moving in and out. He's a kickboxer at heart who's fallen in love with the grappling. He's probably the better striker of the two, where I think Collins is the better grappler of the two. Being at the apex, being in the small octagon, I mean, take your pick. Do you think Tanzalovi comes in here with more of a kill shot mentality, right? Applies that pressure, uses his hands, utilizes that takedown defense, or do you think Collins just comes through, applies that pressure? We see the Tanzalovi that we saw in his previous fight. I'm gonna go with Collins here.
yeah, I think Colin gets it done. I think Colin is the pick. The only thing I'm wondering is what weight class did Collins fight at? So he fought at featherweight, and I think he's going to be fighting at 135 because this cat Josias Musasa was at 135. So yeah, he's cutting to 135. I don't know if he's made that debut yet. I mean, I'm gonna go with Collins. Like Collins is him, and I mean, look, he is the favorite. I would want to check out DraftKings later to see how much. Would I be betting? Potentially. I think it's worth the live bet to see how he does. But yeah, definitely. Like for example, like Musasa is a striker, right? If you can neutralize him with the grappling, so he didn't have that. Otari didn't have that against Musasa. So let's see how it pans out. I think it's warranted the minus 160. So I'm gonna go with Collins.
Right on. We'll move on here to our first women bout of the night. We have Carol Hossa taking on Luana Santos. Hossa last time out came off of that unanimous decision win to Nora Cornell, whereas Santos is coming off that unanimous decision win to Melissa Croden. Rosa, she has good footwork, decent takedown offense, and decent cardio. Good pressure. She throws with output, has good footwork, solid grappling offense, as I mentioned. She doesn't necessarily do well once on the ground, once she's taken down. And she doesn't have the most power, right? She's going up against Santos, who we saw last time out against a a power striker, a nice striker in Croden, where she was able to secure two takedowns and control her for 9 minutes. Santos is a judoka. She's a grappler first. She has solid takedowns. She's dangerous in the clinch. She mixes in her judo, maintains nice top control, and once on the ground and utilizes her BJJ if needed. I think this fight here hinges really on the fact whether or not Host is going to be able to stop the takedowns. I think this fight's going to look a lot like the Aileen Perez fight, where she's going to get taken down, she's going to get controlled, and I think Croden is probably a more dangerous striker than Hosa, I would say, because Hosa doesn't have the power. I think Croden has the knockout power, right? She has more power in terms of danger, as we saw her get her knockout in her debut win. So I'm going to go with Santos here. I think in the clinch, she's going to be able to find her way with her, get her down, control her.
Yeah, no, and like, look, I'm gonna go with Rosas. I think Rosas gets it done here. I want to kind of to briefly check off the stats to see if there was anything that kind of changed in terms of the betting line, right? Just to see what the boys favor. And yeah, I mean, look, you got Rosas at a minus 112, so this is an easy fight. Collins at a minus 205 now. One of the things that I'm going to pick Rosa, but one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to just look at Luana Santos' stand-up game, footwork, and her takedown defense before I decide to throw. Because I think Rosa
Her
could
takedown defense. She doesn't have to worry about the takedown.
I know, but things get a little murky when both fighters are high caliber on the striking. Then who's the better grappler, right? And I think that's we could potentially see that as an outcome. So I want to just I want to go through the fight, skim it, and be like, okay, well, who has the better stuff? Because Nora Cornell, like that's a good win 10 months ago. We got to remember that. Nora was also beating Jocelyn Edwards, right? So
she got knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah, in the second round, I mean, you're not wrong. And now she's potentially going to fight for the belt. I'm going to go with Rosas to get it
Right
done.
on. We're on the split end here. You're going with Carol Hosa, where I'm going with Luana Santos. We'll move on to our next bout. We have Leon Shabazian, Edmund's brother, taking on Levon Chokeli. Chokeli? Shabazian is coming off the submission win to Robert Hale, whereas Chokeli is coming off that KO win to Alexandre Concalves. Leon, as I mentioned, he is the older brother of Edmund Shabazian. Unlike his brother, he is not a boxer. He's a grappler first. He's not the best striker. He doesn't have the best striking defense. He's more of a counter striker. If you really look at his style, if you really watch some of his tape, he's a good scrambler. He can fight at range. He has good length. Utilizing that BJJ, right? If you're long, you're going to be long on the ground. So that works in your benefit to snatch up some submissions and whatnot. Chalk Kelly is well-rounded. He has good striking. He has good power. He times in his takedowns really well. He has good scrambling. His cardio is a concern at this level and in the level of competition, right? It's 14, 13, and 0. He's coming into the UFC. You know how that goes, right? Small apex could benefit him, the small octagon. But I think Chokeli here, when you look at it on paper and you kind of see that you do the tape study, he's the better all-around fighter. He has more tools here, and I think he should be doing enough defensively on the ground and be better on the feet to get the dub here. So I'm gonna go with him to win. Chokeli.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go with Shabazi, and I'm gonna spin the. I'm gonna
255. Woo, the big dog, huh?
That's
good though.
Yes, plus 295.
It went up.
Plus 295, and this other cat is minus 375, and I don't see it. I really don't like. You gotta dominate, brother. You gotta you're dealing with a guy, bro. These are close to Justin Gaethje odds against Ilia Topuria, my boy.
Relax, bro. Don't do that. Don't say that. People are gonna think you're comparing this cat to Justin Gaethje. This cat can't even strike, bro. You're comparing him to Justin Gaethje. Get out of here.
He gets grappled, so if he comes with a good gas tank. So the thing is going to be like, where was he training, right? Where was he training with his brother? He's training with the Kutalab and the Killers. I'm going to go with Shabazian. I mean, this is a wild card. I'm not going to parlay it, but throw a little tenner there. You make a little half, a little till 20. You buy a steak at home.
Right on. We'll move on to our next fight. We are on opposite ends there. We'll move on to our next fight. Michael Aswell Jr. taking on Gaston Bolanos. Aswell Jr. has been dealt kind of a weird hand, right? He had that loss to Balagioki where he came in on short notice, and then he fought Lucas Almeida, who had a broken hand. He got the KO. And then he fought Lucas Riley, who's a top prospect in enemy territory, which looked really good in that fight, right? Like, he looked good in that fight. He took him to decision. A lot of people thought he was going to get KO'd, but he looked good. He looked good. He landed more in that fight, whereas Luke Riley landed more significant strikes, and then he was able to secure some takedowns. He's coming up against Bolaños, who we talked about in the past, right? He has that Muay Thai background. He's a striker. Um, he does get outstruck, but is pretty technical and sound when he's in control of the tempo and pace. He's vulnerable to the takedowns, as we saw last time out, where he lost to Quang Lee, where he was submitted. I think Aswell Jr. training with Joshua Van, coming from that camp, having a full camp here, and then having a fight in Vegas against Gaston Bolaños, where Gaston Bolaños struggles on the ground, and seeing how Michael Aswell can get takedowns, I think he's poised to win here. So I'm going to be rooting for Michael Aswell Jr. here. He's a big favorite. I mean, if you're on the side of Gaston Bolaños, I want to hear why.
No, I'm gonna go with that as well, Junior. I think he did very good in his last outing. Had good stuff. It's just that Riley kid, he has good dynamite in his hands, and like he
Yeah.
crumbles, right? Bolanos, I mean, he could get it done. I don't like the price tag, right? Like if you ask me if you're throwing money at him, and I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think it's good. Minus 425. Minus four. Sorry, minus 425 right now. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta get him out of in the first round. That's what that tells me. So will it happen? I don't think so. No, but let's see.
We're both on the side of Michael Aswell Jr. We'll move on to our next bout. We had broken this fight in the past before. We have Mitch Raposo taking on Alan Nascimento. Raposo's coming off of that unanimous decision win to Azat Maxim, whereas Nascimento's coming off that submission win to Cody Durden. Raposo, as we mentioned, he's a New England cartel coming out of that camp, right? He has solid boxing and striking technique. He's a well-rounded fighter with a decent, and actually, no, not even decent, with a good wrestling base. We saw that against Sumardeji, right? Where he was able to get down the takedowns, but he wasn't really necessarily able to do anything once on the ground, right? And then after that, we saw him against Sumardeji, where he lost via split decision, get his hands kind of going a little bit, right? I mean, not Sumardeji. I mean, Azat Maxim, right? He was able to get his hands going more. Yeah. His boxing looked really nice. And then he's going up against Nascimento, who we saw against Cody Durden was placing some iffy spots right early on, because Cody Durden came out hot. He came out aggressive prior to getting submitted. And I think Nascimento's issue here is going to be the striking, right? Because you're going up against a grappler who has solid takedown defense, has decent enough takedown defense, who's probably not going to shoot on you because he knows the threat that's on the other side. It's probably going to stick to his hands. I'm going to go with Mitch Raposo here. I feel like he's coming into his own. I'm going to pick him here.
Yeah, I'm going to parlay this one with Collins and pick Nascimento. I think Nascimento gets it done here. I think if you ask me, yeah, I really do. If you ask me, like, you compare the oppositions that he had, and I think the man has had better opposition. Nascimento, he's going to have the reach advantage too, so he's not going to, and that's the thing, right? How close does Mitch get? And we've seen Mitch's fight. Mitch has a tendency to not be aggressive. That's like in all three fights. Like I think I bet Mitch it's in the Sumardechi fight, and he has that kind of issue that he doesn't press sometimes, right? So I'm curious to see how Nascimento utilizes his jab, gets him frustrated and creates distance, right? Because it's a 5-inch reach advantage, and then you add the fact that it's like there's 3. So Mitch is gonna really have to throw that overhand right, jab to the body, overhand right, try to take him down. And you know what's probably going to happen if he takes down?
I don't think Mitch is going to go for the takedowns here, bro. I don't think Mitch is going to try to take this dude as a BJJ ace, a black belt who has 12 submission wins. I don't think he's going to go to the grappling here. If he goes to the grappling here, he's in trouble, bro. That means Nascimento is doing something on the feet where he sucks on the feet. So I don't think he's going to go for the grappling here.
If somebody would have knocked him out, it would have been Cody Durden. Cody Durden is more ruthless.
He hurt him.
He did, but look what happened. So, I mean, does he not learn from this fight? Who's the better fighter, Raposo or Durden?
All-around fighter?
Yeah.
I would say Mitch Raposo is probably more technical in some regard with his boxing. Where Durden's more of a pressure kind of entertaining cat, comes forward, doesn't really care, throws caution to the wind. Good grappler.
Yeah. But I'll say this, like, if it's good odds. I have to say it's pretty good odds. So I'm parlaying this.
I like him as a dog, but I'm not mad at the Nascimento pick. I mean, I agree with you. He is going to be the bigger fighter if he finds it to the ground. If he snatches up something, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see what happens, though.
Call it. Yeah, 100%.
Next up, we have Bia Mesquita taking on Melissa Mullins. Bia Mesquita's coming off of that submission win to Monte Rendon. I think you picked Rendon in that fight, didn't you? No. Mullins is last lost to Daria Zelenzakova via unanimous decision, which was a rematch. Mesquita As we already know, she's a BJJ ace. She secured that second round sub in her UFC debut and a sub in her second fight. She's 2-0 in the promotion. She's a grappler first. She doesn't have the best offensive grappling, securing takedowns, and her striking isn't the most technical, but she's most aggressive and consistent in her pursuit of that takedown. She went 2 of 3 in her takedowns attempt against, what's her name? Aliskiva, and then against Monsat Rendon, I believe she got 3 takedowns in that fight, if I'm not mistaken. She thrives on the ground and searches for finishes and subs. This is going to be her her 8th MMA fight, or her 6th, because some of them are grappling matches. Mullins is a striker who throws with accuracy. She doesn't necessarily have the best striking defense. She can fight in the clinch. She secured takedowns and utilized her jiu-jitsu on the ground. Mesquita, man, she has the better ground control and takedowns, and Mullins can get taken down. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious to me, right?
Mesquita. And if you're worried about the odds, look, there's a couple of big, heavy favorites that you could kind of parlay Mesquita with. Like I'm going to be doing a four leg parlay. Navajo, Mesquita, Aswell Jr., and I'm also going to be doing, we just skimmed him over, Andre Lima. So, I mean, this is hefty, but, you know, I want a little bit of plus money. 4 fighters that I think should kind of take it home, and I think Mesquita's one of them. Like I don't see no threat from Melissa Mullins, No threat.
Yeah, no threat from Melissa Mullins. Mesquita should be poised to get it done here. Small octagon, get that takedown, snap up another sub, and we'll see what happens, right? Looks like they're trying to speed run her into that top 10, top 5. Right? She has the look, she has the finishes. We'll see what happens.
She needs a little bit more hands. So I want to see how she could put her hands together. Maybe, you know, the threat of the takedown opens up and knocks Mullins out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Nikita.
Right on. I agree. Next up, we have Andre Lima taking on Kevin Borjas. Lima last time out defeated Daniel Barres via submission, plus 600 prop bet that we gave you, right? No one else was talking about that. He was trying to look for that up against what's the cat's name that he fought? Up against Felipe Dos Santos. He wasn't able to get it. Against Daniel Barres, he showcased it. He's really well-rounded. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has that Muay Thai background. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Lima, right? Like he's most famously known for getting that bite bonus. Remember, he got bitten and then he went to go get the tattoo, and Dana White said that's pretty badass. We're gonna give him 20K or 50K or whatever he gave him. So shout out to him for that. He's really well-rounded though, right? He has that kickboxing background, Muay Thai. He's a 3-time Brazilian kickboxing champion and South American kickboxing champion, right? And he has some power behind his shots, and he has that jiu-jitsu in his back pocket as well, right? He's coming up against Borjas, who's coming off of that KO loss to Imanol Rodriguez, where he had him hurt but couldn't get it done. He has decent striking where he looks to attack the legs, body, and throw combinations. His last 2 losses come from him gassing out and throwing less volume against Joshua Van. He was getting chewed. Against Joshua Van, he tired out, right? He threw less volumes. Against Alessandro Costa, he got his leg chewed up and he got taken down that way. He beat Ronaldo Rodriguez in Mexico, which was an impressive win. But after that, he looked stuck in the mud against Sumar Deji. And then against Imanol Rodriguez, we saw that he got KO'd, right? Noche UFC. I think these odds are kind of crazy, but they're justified. I'm going to go with Andre Lima to get it done here. I don't see a pace, Andre Lima, striking, Andre Lima, ground game, Andre Lima, right? It's going to be Andre Lima all day.
And then you got the fact that the only concern is he's been out for a year and a month, a year and 3 months. That's really the only concern. But again, like he's looked nothing but amazing in all his fights. So yeah, I mean the pick is justified. Mr. Lima takes this, and and if Borjas takes this, that's a big upset. It's a massive upset.
He's a big dog, but I think everybody's going to be on the side of Lima. Lima's actually a really good prospect. I wonder why he was out for so long. I didn't see whether he was injured or not. I follow him on Instagram, but it'd be interesting to find out why. Right. Next up, we have an individual making their UFC featherweight debut. I mean, they're no longer going to be in the bantamweight division. We got Vinicius Oliveira moving up a weight class to take on Andre Fili. Now, you look at Oliveira. He's coming off of that loss to Mario Batista, which was kind of a step down in competition for Mario Batista. If we're being honest, we both picked Mario Batista. We both said he's going to finish him. Right? A lot of people were on the side of Oliveira. They didn't quite understand why. We were so big on Mario Batista, but it was a step down, man. He lost via submission. Philly last lost to Jose Delgado via split decision, where some people didn't agree that he lost that fight. He could have won that fight, right? Oliveira moves forward. He's aggressive. He has good pop behind his shots and looks to finish. He throws with intent. Can get busy on the ground with scrambles and finish with ground and pound or submission. And he has solid takedown defense prior to the Mario Batista fight. But he was saying how he was injured in that Mario Batista fight, right? Like, didn't he say like his arm was injured or something like that? Or he had a broken arm or something crazy came after the fact. So we'll see what happens here, right? He showed how he struggled with the takedowns. He might be too big for bantamweight, which he explained after the fact. He walks around like at what, 160, 170 pounds. So he's going to be fighting at featherweight. This is a 3-round fight. It's going to benefit him and suit him more than a 5-round bout. Andre Philly, you look at him, he's pretty well-rounded, right? He can grapple, he can brawl. The thing is, which version of Philly are we going to see, right? The brawler or the grappler or the one that mixes it all together? He has good striking. He fights out of Team Alpha Male. Good grappling. Takedown defense at 62%. If he's going to be smart here, he's going to test the takedown defense and try to incorporate the same game plan that Mario Batista did, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Moving up in weight, I'm going to be intrigued to see what Vinicius Oliveira does. I'm going to pick him here. I don't agree with the odds. If you're on the side of Philly, good dog, right? Think of the Mario Batista fight. Maybe he incorporates that, tries to get some takedowns. But I think the power and moving up in weight, not suffering that weight cut, is going to suit Vinicius Oliveira, right? It's a 3-round fight. Fight. He's going to be more powerful. He's going to be bigger. He's going to come in heavier. He's not going to have to be so drained with the weight cut, so he should look better. The only thing is I'm concerned with is his takedown defense and his cardio, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go with Vinicius Oliveira.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Oliveira too. Just based on just power, performance, athleticism. Philly, you don't know what Philly you're gonna get sometimes. Like Philly's, been that fighter the last couple of years where, it's just you don't know when he's gonna get. To be very honest, and I don't know, right? I don't know how motivated Philly is to fight this guy. Thing is, Philly has reach. Let's see if he could use it. Like Oliveira was explosive at bantamweight. I would presume he's going to be the same. He's going to have the same explosion, even better at featherweight, right? So it's -210. It jumped up to -310, by the way. I'm going to go with Oliveira. Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oliveira too. I probably won't parlay him because there's still that what if he addresses those issues, but I'll look at some props, right? Because Andre Philly's pretty tough. We'll look at some props. Maybe the over 1.5. We'll see. Next up, we have Melsik Bagdasaryan taking on Murtadsali Magomedov. Melsik last lost to Gene Silva via KO, whereas Magomedov last beat Brahim Zerker via KO on the Dana White Contender Series. This is his UFC debut. He's coming up against Bagdasaryan, who, as I mentioned, lost to Gene Silva. He is 8-3-0. He's a precise counter striker, solid kickboxer, diverse kicking game, and good takedown defense. However, if he's taken down, he does struggle on the ground. And guess who's he going up against, bro? He's going up against a Magomedov, right? So when you hear that name, what do you think, bro? It's Russian cat. He's a grappler first, solid pressure, good takedowns and entries, solid ground and pound submissions, nice in the clinch. Level of competition isn't as tough as Bagdasaryan's, but he does have the tools needed to beat Bagdasaryan, if that makes sense, right? Magomedov should be better on the ground and should be able to secure takedowns here, should be able to control Bagdasaryan, who does struggle on his back. I'm going to go with Magomedov here. I think he gets it done. He's 10-0, but if you're on the side of Bagdasaryan, maybe he's addressed those issues, right? Maybe he's fought tougher competition. Maybe it's going to be an easier fight for him, but I'm going to go with Magomedov just because I know that Bagdasaryan has struggled on the ground before in the past.
Yeah, Magomedov is a pick too. Let's not overthink it here. I think Magomedov.
I mean, Josh Cooley submitted him, bro. What are we doing?
Josh who?
Josh Cooley, exactly. Josh who, bro? See? Say less.
Let's go.
That's it. You're going with Magomedov. All right. Nothing to say for Bagdasaryan. That's messed up. And Bagdasaryan has, I want to mention, he has struggled with some injuries, right? Prior to fighting Gene Silva, I think he was out for 2 years with a leg injury. So he came back. So I don't know what's really going on with him, man. Maybe he's just fighting out his contract, right? We'll see. Maybe. He might get cut after this if he loses. We don't know. But we'll move on here to an interesting fight. We have Christian Rodriguez taking on Hyder Amil. This fight I struggled with picking, bro. I was picking back and forth. And even now, I want to hear what you say, right? Christian Rodriguez last lost to Andre Fili via split decision, whereas Emil last lost to Jamal Emmers via unanimous decision. We'll start off with Rodriguez. He's well-rounded. He has good kickboxing, solid submission defense. He's versatile, right? He blends in his kickboxing really well and his submission. Um, he can grapple. People have donned him the prospect killer, right? Because he's beaten the likes of Isaac Dogarian. He beat Austin Bashi, and I think Raul Rosas, right? He beat as well. If I'm not mistaken, or did he lose to Raul Rosas?
No, he beat Roses.
He beat Raul Rosas, right, which donned him that nickname. He's never been finished in 14 of his fights. He has a strong chin and good recovery. He's going up against a Mill, who last time out lost to Jamal Emmers, where the pressure and ground game, he got taken down 7 times was the difference. Prior to that, he was KO'd last time out by Delgado and lost his undefeated record. He pushes forward. He fights aggressively. He's primarily a striker and looks to get in the pocket where he thrives. Against Gomes, he looked good but did fade a little. He secures takedowns but isn't the best on the ground. And I think here, Christian Rodriguez should be able to take him down, right? If Jamal Emmers is not a scrub too. I mean, he can get those takedowns, but I think Christian Rodriguez has that takedown threat, right? And Emil, if he's learned anything, he needs to start off slow, right? Get that jab going and then try to get his combination, try to get that power, try to set up his power shots instead of being so crazy and chaotic, right? He's already tasted defeat twice. Both these guys are on 2-fight losing streaks, so it's going to be interesting who takes it here, right? But I'm going to go with Rodriguez. I think he has the grappling edge. I think that's going to make the difference here.
I mean, after it's just crazy because what Emil did to Gomes was amazing, was not expected.
It's a good fight.
Gomes had a bad night, but Rodriguez has been consistent. Rodriguez has fought the tougher opposition. You look at Costa. Costa fought a couple months ago. Brendan Allen, right, number 7. Then you look at Andre Fili. Andre Fili, showed, you don't know what Andre Fili shows up, but Hyder, I'm a little bit, disappointed, right?
You were big on him too. I remember you picked him against Jose Delgado. We picked him against Emmers, I think too, right? Because Emmers had been dropped before. Yeah.
Emmers was the guy with the punch, and now you're like, okay, well, what now, right? So you have the question, like, what's going to be the strategy here, right? Does Emil have better takedown than Fili, right? And I think he has good pace, but the conditioning that we saw against Emmers, it wasn't really there. So it just leads me to believe that, you could take him down, but Rodriguez is going to stay consistent, right? So I'm going to pick Rodriguez. Now, there's one factor we forgot to mention here. Rodriguez was fighting when he went up in weight.
He fought what's it called? Costa. Fought Costa and
was he fighting at 145?
He was fighting at 135 and then he moved up, but he moved up a while ago.
That's the only thing, but again, these guys look like they're pretty.
He's pretty small though. He is pretty short.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rodriguez. I just don't he would have to show me levels, and like I said, like Rodriguez has been crafty and training with Pettis brothers, all these different things. So I think he has a good shot. I just don't know where Emil's mindset is at, and that's it.
No, I agree with you, and I think when I first saw this fight, I was like, oh, Emil's gonna put a pace on him, and then I kind of went back and saw the Jamal Emmers fight. I was like, oh shit. My boy was taken down 7 times and he kind of fades, right? Like I was stuck in the illusion of him versus Gomes, and you kind of sit down and you watch the film. You're like, man, I think Rodriguez has a shot here, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're both on the side of Christian Rodriguez.
You all have him at Christian Rodriguez minus 205. So there has been good money coming on Christian Rodriguez at a minus 205, right? He started at a minus 155, so there's been good money thrown at him.
Right on. We'll move on to our co-main event. You want to break this one down? Start it up?
I mean, look, you got the guy that dresses up.
This is your boy, bro. This is your boy. You better gas him up. You're picking against him. You better gas him up.
Yeah, no, we're picking against him because, against Navajo, which is, again, the training partner of Carlos Ulberg, Israel Adesanya. And if there's one thing you need to know about Navajo.
Kicking?
What?
City kickboxing. I said city kicking. I said city kickboxing. My bad.
I don't know, that's fine. The one thing to know about this kid is he is consistent with his jab. He doesn't put himself into danger. You
Hmm.
know, he doesn't have like he finished Bruno Lopez, but one of the things that he's done, which I mean I applaud him, is that he's not rushing. He's not going after the takedowns. He's trying to get as much experience as possible. Versus you got a guy that Ion Cutelaba, which basically, after his loss to who was it? There was a loss that he had, and then he kind of switched up the way he fought. So now he's a little bit more patient. So the question is, how aggressive does Cutelaba get against Navajo, which is a good counter striker, right? You look at the reach, and I like the reach with Navajo because he knows how to utilize his jabs and his kicks, right? Because I'm Cutelaba, I'm going to try to mix my grappling in. So what am I expecting? Cutelaba should go in for heavy grappling. Navajo needs to stuff it, punch him, get him to the body. That's
Yeah.
really what it is. And an overhand right is not going to take off Sterling. I have a hard time thinking. What do you guys
And
think?
I think Kutalaba, after that Ebo Aslan submission win, he kind of famously said in this post fight interview, like, "Fuck, my grappling is good, bro." Right, and we kind of saw that more and more. Right, we saw that against Modestas Bukauskas. It wasn't successful. He lost that fight, even though we think he won. And then we saw that against Umar Sai. So the challenging thing for him here is gonna be closing that distance, right? Getting that takedown. Because if he just rushes in, he's gonna get popped, right, with something on the entry. And I think Navajo Sterling in that camp is kind of prepping for that. But we have seen Navajo get taken down in the past, right? I mean, he's not immune to the takedowns. Like Balado took him down twice. He was taken down in his fight with Tuco Tocos. But one thing that he does really well, and you mentioned, is he utilizes his reach. He utilizes that jab. He kind of utilizes his footwork really well. Nice check hook. I think Kutalaba, for him to have success, he's gonna have to get to that grappling. He's gonna have to close that distance, get in the clinch, make it dirty, right? Push him up against the fence and kind of get in his face early and often, right? To kind of not let Navajo get going, right? Because if Navajo gets going, he finds that jab, he's gonna be in a flow state, he's gonna coast to a decision. So, I mean, I'm not mad if somebody picks Eon, but I think Navajo Sterling should win here.
Should take it. I mean, it's very clear. And like you got the, I mean, you don't have Goldberg to spar with anymore because Goldberg is kind of like out, right? Because of that knee injury. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
the hamstring injury. Um, I don't know if Izzy kind of helped him out in the camp. You probably had to bring a couple of like, dude. If you're this fight and Navajo knows, if he knew 8 weeks, 6 weeks in advance he was fighting this dude, you would bring a bunch of grapplers, and
of
your
course.
dog is like, try to take me down, right? So I mean, like, if not, brother, you did a bad job. But I'm gonna go with Sterling. I think Sterling gets it done.
Yeah, and that camp does well, right? We saw what they did with Hoofy last weekend.
Yeah.
Right, he's training with Volk and them, so they prep really well. So we'll see what happens. We're at our main event. This is a rematch from 8 years ago. Kyo Horiguchi, last time they met in Risen, submitted Manel Kape in the third round via a head and arm choke, right? When you look at these two guys, obviously that fight was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot has changed, I would say.
Yes.
But Horiguchi, he hasn't lost to many people, man. This guy, we when he made his return to the UFC, we thought, maybe he was gonna have that rust. He's coming in, he's fighting UFC caliber people, but boy, did he look good, right? Especially Tagir Ulanbekov, who was struggling with weight, but he did good. He has a plus 500 record. He only lost one time, and that is to the featherweight goat Demetrius Johnson. Upon his return to the promotion, he is 2-0 with wins over Tagir Ulanbekov and Amir Albazi, who's in the top five. He submitted a Dagestani in Tagir, which is pretty impressive, right? Because those guys either sleep or they don't tap, right? They sleep or they don't tap or they get out of it. He came out aggressive in that fight. He had solid takedown defense, scrambled well, was fast twitch and active. He's well-rounded. He's a good striker with power behind his shots. He can grapple as well. However, he has struggled against pressure grapplers, as we've seen in the past, like Patchy Mix in his heyday, etc. But Manel Kape's not that type of fighter. Manel Kape is a pressure counter striker who looks to pressure you and land that counter, right? He's coming off his third round KO win. I mean, he's coming off his was it first round or second round? He's coming off of that first round KO win to Brandon Royval. Prior to that, he KO'd Asua Mabayev in the third round. And then he got a win over Bruno Silva via KO as well in the third round. So he's dangerous through and through, right? Through and through throughout the whole fight. He can catch you later on. He catch you early. Um, he throws heavy. He has sudden flurries. Good takedown defense. Mokaev was able to take him down 3 of 8 times. Almabayev went 0-6 in takedowns, but that fight was on short notice. I think here this fight is probably gonna look a lot like the first one, right? Like Kape is dangerous in terms of his knockout power, right? Like he has that counter, he has that speed, he has that power. He can get you at any time. But I think Horiguchi has more tools, right? In the sense that he could set up his takedowns well. He could apply that pressure. He's not gonna allow you to dictate that pace. He's not gonna allow you to set up those counters, right? Like many people have in the past, because he's already fought him. He's already tasted that. So I think Horiguchi here should get the victory. It's going to be a good fight, though, man. I think Horiguchi has more tools and more paths to victory in this fight.
This is a very intriguing fight because Manel Cape, like, I don't know what happened in the last 3 fights, because the
Mm-hmm.
fight against Mohamed Makomed, he looked a little bit stale, looked a little bit, drawn out. Um,
Yeah,
then he kind of comes back and you just see him being him, bro. Like, he's just a different fighter, a different aura. He's gonna have the reach against here, but the thing is, Kyoji Horiguchi is, dude, he's very kind of complex the way he fights. Like,
yeah,
this guy is a great fighter, good pace. This is gonna be a fun fight. I personally don't have a, if I could kind of pick somebody, I'm picking Horiguchi. To be honest with you, I just don't know Manel Cape. Manel Cape is an explosive fighter, right? And
mm-hmm.
Raul got caught, right? Which is crazy because none of us were expecting that. I think even in that fight, Royval was the favorite. No, yeah,
Yeah. No, Rovel was the dog. We picked the dog.
really, Royval was the dog. Eh? Okay. I mean, if I have to pick, I think this is the dead even 50-50. I'm gonna go with Horiguchi. I think if
Yeah,
Horiguchi is able to keep it move and then take him down, right? Now, where if Cape is able to stuff Horiguchi's takedown, he's
yeah,
in for a long night. But like I said, this guy training with that Pantoja. I mean, all the years he's been kind of out, you have to question what's been his motivation. Yes, Sergio Pettis beat him, but he got it back. Yes, Patchy Mix beat him, but guess what? This man is not fighting at bantamweight. This man is fighting at his weight class, right? So yeah, I'm curious to see how the reach affects him.
yeah.
Uh,
'Cause it's a 5-inch reach, right? And but they fought before, right? So it shouldn't be too bad. Like we've seen it before. The thing that I'm looking at here, like when you look at Manel Kop's record, right? Like aside from Makayev, who's the most dangerous grappler he's faced? Asu on short notice.
Asu, yeah, Asu, but
Bruno Silva, who's more of a power striker who can get takedowns.
Asu was over his head in that fight. Asu never should
Yeah.
have been in that fight. Asu was
You
like,
should- Felipe dos Santos. I mean, he's a shoot to box guy, right? He's not really a pressure grappler.
he's more of a striking cat, right?
Ode Osborne striker, right? Brandon Royval can mix it up, but he's not a pressure grappler. He did lose to Alexander Pantoja and then Mateo Nicolau. So there's that, right? So this could be a tough fight for him. This could be one of those where it's like, wow, Horiguchi's that good, right? If he gets it done, if he gets it done early. But I think we're in for a good fight. We're in for a really good main event. But I'm gonna side with Horiguchi here. I think Horiguchi gets it done. He has more ways to finish this cat. He's gonna be able to get it to the ground, and we'll see what he does from there. So
Yeah, no,
Horiguchi's the pick.
it's gonna be a fun fight on a Saturday. I'm excited.
Finally, it was nice to have a fight on a Sunday, though. Felt good.
It just lasted too long. I feel like the pace was just like starting it at 8 p.m. Like, it was just like, God damn.
3 card. Yeah,
I,
East Coast people
I
probably. Yeah,
also didn't do, like, I'm taking Sundays off now, and that Sunday I wasn't doing anything, so I'm just like waiting and waiting. But I got to see all the FIFA games. That I am following FIFA.
oh,
And then
bro.
straight to this, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. This is exciting. So I'm excited, champ. No, I mean, time to rugged, great stuff. I think we got a good card in our hands.
Fun
I'll
card.
I'll see if I like bet. I already kind of placed 3 bets. Majority are
Sorry.
going to be parlays. I have a couple of 4 to 6 parlays, and I am going with the favorites for plus money. We'll see if that pans out. That panned out in the White House card, but I'm not making decisions on fact. Like a fight like this is a money line to a live bet fight,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
right? So if I see like the first round Horiguchi taking over, I'm gonna slam that money. Like I don't, because like I said, Manel Cape is the more powerful fighter, which means he will gas, right?
Yeah.
You haven't seen this cat um, 3 rounds in, right? You know Horiguchi's good for it, champ. But
I agree. Next week we do have Fiziev taking on Manuel Torres. That's going to be a banger of a fight, right? Dangerous cat taking on a dangerous striker. It would. I think this fight would have more weight if Fiziev didn't get knocked out by Hoofy, right? I think it'd be a much better fight, but we'll see what happens. Manuel Torres and Rafael Fiziev, and then in 2 weeks after that, we have McGregor taking on Holloway too. Banger of a fight. The return of McGregor. Have you heard? Have you heard his Ariel Hawani interview?
yeah, bro.
This is not a therapy session. This is not a therapy. My man caught himself, bro. He caught himself. he was explaining. Like, I thought it was funny, but anyways, he's back. So we'll see what happens there.
He's on bully weight. So I'll be honest with you. I am gonna go with Connor because Connor.
Hey, whoa, chill, 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 chill. We'll talk about it when it comes, bro. We'll talk about it. I just asked what you thought about the fight. Chill
Bully
out.
weight.
Giving the people too much already, bro. Relax.
Right.
Anyways, make sure you follow us on X at Combat Sport, guys. We will drop our picks, our bets tomorrow or early Saturday. As always, it's all love. It's all free. We don't charge you anything. We're just here. Good vibes always and forever. Any parting words, my man?
Take it home, champ. Let's get it.
Right on. As always, love what you love. Do what you do. We're out.